man.
That's
But
cool.
you've always been kind of a man behind the scenes too, right?
Yeah,
photography, the label, it's
Right.
Alive and all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah, because I have no talent.
Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast. With your host, Craig Casamas and Big J Curran.
yeah, you're like, oh fuck, man. Anyway, welcome to the podcast. Frank
Thank
Hammer.
you. Thanks for having me.
I fucking appreciate you coming in, man. We've been talking for months now, but paths just get crossed. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate you making the trip all the way from the beach to the beach.
Thank you.
Well, so what's going on, man? How's life?
Life's good, man. Just, busy, just like everyone else. Just busy, which is good, better than laying around and being lazy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy to get lazy,
Easy,
especially in that
very
beach
easy.
world, right?
I mean,
It's a hard life.
It is, man.
Look at me and Craig. We're the definition of
Definition of lazy, man. So you're still down in, I'm not going to say where you live, but down in the beach. Have you been there your whole life? You grew up?
Yeah, I
down there,
lived in Oxnard 3 generations.
right.
So
wow.
born at St. John's Hospital in Oxnard, the old St. John's.
Mhm.
yeah.
And then born and raised in Oxnard. My father graduated from Oxnard High in 1958.
Really?
Wow.
Damn.
That's crazy.
You got an old ass dad then, huh?
Yeah, he actually just passed away in December.
Oh man.
It's all right. OG is a great guy. 81 years old.
Oh really? You got a
Yeah.
full one in then.
Yeah,
How old was he when he had you then?
I don't know. Not sure.
How many do you have siblings? I know
Yeah,
the Hammer family is a lineage family in Oxnard, is what I
Yeah,
understand.
I have an older sister,
Okay.
then a bunch of cousins, etc. But my dad, man, he was triple OG. He started one of the first car clubs like in Southern California,
Really?
the Pharaohs.
Really?
Oh wow. That is that's
Goes way back.
Way back, huh?
Old school hot
Like
rock.
mid 50s.
Yeah.
Oh really?
So my
Yeah.
dad and his father started that, like ground zero.
That's awesome. What
That's
were they rolling around in
amazing.
50? No, they were rolling around in the fucking old Bel
drag
Air
cars,
drag
coupes
cars
and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
it was
that's
a
awesome.
hot rock culture, like
Okay.
the Spirits or something that's out and about now.
That's rad.
Yeah, it's cool. And I never caught the bug.
No, never got
No,
it. Huh?
can't even use a wrench.
I'm fucking exactly the
skipped.
same as you. My old man can build a car from the fucking floor up. I have zero skills for building cars.
Yeah, zero
No
skills, zero interest, but he was cool.
Yeah.
Never, just let me do what I wanted. And it's sort of funny when he was in high school, him and his father started the car club, and then there were Hawaiians at the Port Hueneme military base.
Okay.
So he would fix and work on their cars, and they would take them surfing.
Oh,
really?
wow.
And this is like before anyone really knew in Oxnard what surfing was.
Wow.
So yeah, it was wild. He had a lot of cool stories.
I bet, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, because there's always been a heavy Samoan culture or Hawaiian culture.
right,
you know what I
right.
mean?
Port
In
Hueneme and
Oxnard,
South
Hawaii.
Oxnard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still.
That's
yeah,
crazy.
still, yeah.
So is that obviously you grew up? Did he at that point start surfing and start doing the whole
Yeah,
thing?
he never really got into surfing, just tried it out. He was one of the very first lifeguards at Silver Strand Beach,
Really?
1956. It's funny, he showed up to hang out with a friend, and someone had quit, and they're like, "Oh, you want to be a lifeguard?" And he's like, "Sure." A little
Yeah.
different nowadays.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
man.
1956.
Do you imagine the fucking tail he was slinging over there?
Oh,
Dude?
crazy.
He was
Oh,
probably,
dude.
only guy that could save a motherfucker on the
Car
beach.
club
Yeah,
and-
car
Yeah.
club. He's fucking killing it,
Lifeguard, car club,
dude. That's awesome.
out
man.
surfing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
amazing how much Oxnard and Ventura has changed since then alone. You know what I mean? It's It's fucking wild, man.
Wow. Yeah, man. He tells his story. It was all dirt roads and just most people don't know this. When he went to Oxnard High, there were no high schools really in the county. There was only Ventura High School and Santa Clara High School.
Really?
So every kid from Camarillo, Newberry Park, Thousand Oaks, and Moore Park went to Oxnard High.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Really?
That's
Yes.
awesome.
And you know their parents didn't drive them to school every day.
No, they're bussed in.
Yeah.
They're bussed in. So my dad had a lot of friends from all over the county
Oh, okay.
because
Yeah, that's amazing, man.
Yeah,
That's crazy, man. I mean, because I'm a generational mutt. Like we're never from anywhere.
Okay.
So I have my roots in the desert, but they're all from fucking. You know what I mean? So it's like it's very rare that you see a family that stays in a fucking area, for many, many years like that.
Yeah, I'm like the human, like Google Map Quest of Oxnard.
They're in a fucking alley you don't know about.
Yeah, there's pretty much nothing I don't know about Oxnard. If you have an Oxnard question, I probably can answer it.
Yeah. I guess, would you consider yourself like second generation punk rocker? I mean, is that because you were in the 80s a bit, right? But
yeah, definitely. My first show was 83.
80. Oh, so you were in there. Yeah, you were up there.
Yeah, I was in the mix.
You were in the mix.
It's funny, I always looked really young and I was really small.
Mm-hmm.
So, it was sort of easy to get around because no one really bothered me.
Yeah.
We were talking earlier about some rough shows and rough times, but I mean, I literally looked like I was like 9 years old. So I would just cruise around and no one really bothered me.
Yeah.
So
what was your first punk show?
it was a Dr. No
Mm-hmm.
and in Camarillo.
Wow, really?
Yeah, Dr. No in Camarillo.
Where in Camarillo?
Yeah.
It was at the Camarillo airport.
Really?
Yeah.
Trip out.
Yeah, they used to have shows there.
At the airport?
Yeah,
That's
at the
where
airport.
I work at the airport.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they used to have shows there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like inside the gates or one of the buildings around the thing?
I can't really remember, but I mean, it was in a building.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't a proper building.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but it was cool.
Was that your first exposure to like punk rock and that culture?
Sort of. That was definitely my first show. I got introduced to punk rock. One of my dad's best friends lived in Ventura, and he had a son my age. I was good friends with, and he had an older brother. And in 1983, we went over there for his older brother's birthday party, and the first Suicidal Tendencies album had just come out.
Damn. Okay.
So his brother got it for his birthday, and he's showing it to, and like people say this, but he's like changed my life.
Yeah.
I remember holding the album and just going,
what
the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, and they kept playing I Saw Your Mommy. And I was like, what is this? And from then on, I just like, I need more of this. So there's a fanzine 60 miles north.
Okay.
And I'd go to Salzer's and I saw that fanzine and then just, started getting flyers and just jumped head first into it.
All in.
Yeah, all in, man. Yeah. All in from day one.
All in from day one. Yeah.
That's awesome. All in from day one.
When we were younger, we had to actually like go from the beach to Salzer's to get the record and to see where they're playing.
Yeah.
Because you didn't just all of a sudden go, oh, I wonder where they're playing.
Oh,
you
yeah.
had to actually
Google
go.
It. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Go to the store and look that stuff up and then find your way to the show because nobody's mom is giving them a ride to the show.
There's
there's
no YouTube.
Yeah.
Google. Yeah. It's funny you say that because I remember having flyers and taking them to school and asking my friends, let's go to this show. And they're like, I'm not sure that show's going on because a lot of the flyers didn't have the years on them.
Oh, really?
So literally we're looking at this I'm looking at this flyer and it would take days or weeks to figure out if it was this show, if it was 2 years old or a year old. I remember wanting to go to Fender's and it said something like Social Distortion's last show at Fender's, something like that. And it took us a good week to figure out it was like 2 years before.
I know, because I always wondered, like you know, when you saw old punk flyers, they always had the date and the year on them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and I'm sure before then, you
and
know,
maps,
right? Literal fucking maps in the corner and shit, or written directions on how to get there, you know?
Right.
And I always laughed because I was like, who the fuck needs a fucking year? And then it does make sense, you know, when you had no access to, and I grew up in the generation where I think I had a computer when we were 17. You know what I mean? Like that's when you could map quest some shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
But before then, you know, it was like, I could see myself rolling up to a show that was a year old, like for sure. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I don't think I ever did, knock on wood. I don't think so, but pretty close a few times.
Yeah, potential was there.
Yeah. And then same thing, you'd get fanzines, you know, it'd have a mail order and like, you know, like how old is this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, Minor Threat, Black Flag, whatever. And it's like, you know, $3. And it's like, do I send the money?
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. Like this could be 6 months. It could be 4 years old. It's very,
it's like the same interview you've read 100 fucking times. Yeah, you had to try so fucking hard to be into something back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, just, you know, I talk about it all the time, you know, like the number one way for me was to get an LP, get a fucking record. God, hopefully you read through that thank you list of all the fucking bands that they are friends with, that they're thanking. And then now you're like, okay, gotta find this, gotta find this. Or like,
what
God forbid they're wearing t-shirts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you're like, okay, well, that's a fucking badass shirt. I mean, the amount of LPs I've bought on pure looks alone, you know what I mean? And
struck out a few times.
But sometimes you kind of get your, and then it's what label put it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like all that, you just had to gather so much fucking information to be in a punk rock or hardcore or anything back in the day.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it's like that for anything. I mean, you know, it's just basic life. Nothing, you know, if you want, nothing is easy.
Right.
You know,
nothing was easy.
Yeah.
Now everything's too fucking easy.
Yeah. But if you want something, you just, you know, surfing, music. I know you're in a union trade. Like you gotta
put in the time, man.
Yeah. You gotta get up.
Yeah.
And go to work or whatever you want to do. But you gotta put in the time.
Totally, man.
You gotta put in the time.
Everything is that. It's all that was 1,000 hours. You know, you just
10,000 hours.
10,000 hours.
10,000
just keep doing it.
Yeah.
It's
a trip because I joke all the time. I was like, I built my whole identity off a fucking genre of music, you know, or a couple genres of music.
Right.
And then I look at my kids and they're like, we don't care.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
they like everything. Like,
yeah,
my daughter's super into fucking Slater, Kenny, and Bikini Kill right now.
Right.
And then she was listening to like a 311 song like a week ago, and I was like, you can't.
Yeah,
you're not allowed to do that.
Like, just say no.
I'm like, what are you doing here? She's like, what are you, psycho? I'm like, yeah, I guess I am.
It's just so accessible.
I know.
You know, it's just so accessible.
And when they don't they don't think that the kids have the hangups that we had either. You know, like my brother would come home and try to put Dr. No on or Aggression or some shit like that. And I'd go, what the fuck are you doing, man? Turn that shit off.
Turn that noise off.
Put Ice Cube back on. What's wrong with you? You know?
Totally.
And then years later, Ice-T's still up there as one of the best. But and then here years later, start meeting everybody and then start getting into it when I'm in my 30s and 40s.
That's cool.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
I mean, and it's weird because you know, that this shit's hitting 40, 50 fucking years at this point. You know what I mean? It's
it's got such a big resurgence in the 805, you know, with Ill Repute and everybody coming back and, you know, Dr. No getting back together and all these different people that have come back that were gone.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody played for
20 years. Yeah, there's a dead area.
A couple of them at this point.
It's been and then just all of a sudden now there's shows every weekend somewhere.
Right.
You know, and these guys that are my age are out there working all day long to get off work and go home and take their drum kit to go play at the OPAC.
It goes to show you they love it.
I know. You have to do that.
I mean, they love it.
That's a labor.
There's no other, you know.
Yeah. I was talking to
other reason.
I mean, you were mentioning that you went to that terror show last night. So,
right.
And that was fucking, how many? I mean, there had to have been 300-400 kids over there, right?
Yeah, there's probably 300-400.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of younger people, but older people and people I haven't seen in a while. And it was cool. just, it just shows.
Yeah.
You know, music. It's just cool. Yeah. Who's ever playing?
Have you been out much since the pandemic? Like, have you been to many shows at all?
A few, but not a lot.
Yeah.
Ventura Theater.
Yeah.
A couple times. The Oxnard Performing Arts Center a few times, but haven't ventured like really far.
Yeah.
So, but it seems it's back in full swing. I mean, we'll see. Like it feels like it.
Yeah.
You know, hopefully it keeps going. You just feel bad for the bands who,
didn't make it,
or just they rely on touring and but I mean, everyone, you choose your path. So
the pandemic really kind of fucking leveled everyone. Like, everyone suffered through it. Everyone had to experience the shit. But the bands that really survived it are the bands that are gonna be around.
Only the diehard remain.
That's right. Yeah, 100%. The guys that are not dedicated or just realize like, this isn't what I want to do anymore. Fucking fine, move over. Let the kids come in. You know what I mean? Because I've been incredibly stoked on the kids lately, man.
Yeah, of course.
The kids,
it's always about the
kids.
Are
fucking, they're killing it, dude.
They love it.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids, even at the shows, they're just, I mean, the bottom line, you can't bring back youthful energy.
You can't.
You know what I mean?
No.
It's just, totally. I mean, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
You can't, you can't be 14 years old again. But it's cool to see these kids stoked and going for it. And
yeah, they are, man. It was incredible. The last couple of shows I've been to where the younger bands are playing, those kids are in that 18 to 25 range.
Right.
You're like, God damn, guys. Like that feeling for me to see a new band that I haven't heard before is still there. I get fucking stoked, right?
Yeah, of course.
I don't get so stoked that I want to run in the pit anymore.
Right. No, me neither.
No, not happening.
No.
It's going to be affecting you for the next 2 weeks.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
You end up fucking taking a knee in that bad boy.
Getting up out of bed.
It's funny. Like I used to jump in the pit and do all that, but I stopped pretty young, and people ask me like, hey, why aren't you in the pit? It's like, dude, I want to see the band.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I want to see the band. Like I don't want to run into people.
Right.
Like I want to see the band. And it's funny, as as being in bands, T-shirts outsell selling records 100 to 1.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Like you ask any touring band,
it's
100 T-shirts and they'll sell one record.
Right.
But I was always buying the record.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is what it is. But I was about the music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for sure I'd wear a T-shirt, but it's like, if I had the choice, I'm buying the music.
Right.
I want music.
Yeah.
I want a T-shirt.
Well, especially vinyl. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now it's like, we see it in our stuff. It's like people will buy the LP, but yeah, you're right. It's all shirts. It's all merchandise because they can get the music anywhere they want, any fucking time they want. But the record sells fine. Even fucking cassette tapes. I'm shocked.
Yeah, those are
selling
so
well. We blew through our whole batch like pretty fucking quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, I don't even have a cassette player except for in my fucking trailer outside.
I mean, they're cheap to make.
Yeah,
they're cheap to make and sort of a novelty, but people love nostalgia. So I pressed 100 of the Annihilation Time cassette.
Oh,
and
really?
it sold real quick.
I bet it did.
Yeah. So people love that stuff.
Yeah, and good, man. Whatever is keeping people stoked. It's hard though. Is
music is music, whatever format.
Right.
I'm not a techie guy, so if I listen to new music or even want to find old stuff, it's YouTube. Like download.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work for me.
Do you still have music in your life all the time? Like as far as like when you're driving and all that shit, you always are still listening to music?
Yeah, just always listen to music. And I've really been listening to a lot of podcasts.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, podcasts. Yeah. It's so cool, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's cool.
You can find anything and get into it. Whatever, I like history. Dan Carlin's Hardcore History is amazing.
Right.
Just an incredible. And you're like, I listened to the Wrath of Khan series, and it's seven 2 to 3 hour length podcast.
Wow.
I could not stop.
Yeah,
I was listening to it at work for 10 hours and come home and go on a bicycle ride just so I could listen to it some more, and then come home and just lay in bed and listen to it.
Man, dedicated.
So good.
Dedication.
You get caught up.
Yeah.
You know, it's that just getting caught up in that storyline, no matter what it is always fun.
Yeah, it's cool because I mean, you know, before, like, I always loved reading interviews, like fanzines, magazines. But obviously podcasts is, you know, it's just a longer version.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's a longer version, deep dive, they call it, or whatever. So podcasts are cool.
Yeah.
When you get really like, I've listened to anytime I can listen to David Lee Roth. Anytime. I don't care if he's on a podcast and I see that he's on a podcast, I'm gonna listen.
He's bananas.
Nuts.
Yeah, he's nuts.
He is so I was just in Japan for 4 years studying sword fighting. You know, now I'm head back and go be an ambulance driver in New York.
Right, exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
You find out some wild
definitely
shit.
on. Yeah, he's definitely on his own planet.
Oh,
yeah, he is.
Yeah,
that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find out it's cool.
I wouldn't mind stopping by that planet though, man.
Yeah,
his mindset's pretty solid.
Yeah.
It seems like it.
Yeah.
When did you actually start playing in bands and shit? I mean, I know you're in a handful back in the day, right? I mean,
yeah, you know what? About 8th, 9th grade, these dudes from Ventura had a cover band, and I used to jam with them. It's sort of a funny story. They had a singer. And I went over there and they play like punk covers. And I was like, dude, let me try out.
Yeah.
We're like, okay. And I jumped off the couch and was doing wild stuff. And they're like, oh, you're in, man. You're in. And so I, you know, I would jam with them and just jam with friends. Nothing, you know, never played shows or really got out, but you know, would just jam with friends. And you know, I was actually the first singer of Stand Your Ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we were called SYG.
Okay.
And then the band broke up, and you know, those kids were like, "Hey, can we take the name but call it Stand Your Ground?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." And that's, you know,
that's cool.
Yeah, that was cool. That was fun.
Yeah, that's neat, man.
That's
but
cool.
you've always been kind of a man behind the scenes too, right?
Yeah,
photography. The label, you know, It's Alive and all that stuff. I mean,
yeah, because I have no talent. I have no talent, so I was like, you know, I can barely. It's true. I mean, it's true. It's, you know, I was like, you know what? I can't really play guitar that well. I can't do this, but you know, I can bust out a fanzine.
Yeah,
I can take some photos, and you know what? It's like those people are really important.
Huge.
Oh, 100%.
You know, huge.
Yeah.
And it's just so I just started doing that. And like I said, I didn't have a lot of talents. So, you know, just did that, and it was fun, man.
Yeah,
it was cool.
What got you into the photography? Just, I mean,
it's
you know,
fun.
I get it, but you know, there's always the guy that has the camera with him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're fucking, you know, always the big headphones and the camera,
yeah.
you know what I mean? And I remember it, you know, many years, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I started my fanzine about 84, 85,
really?
1984, 85. And my friend Dan Dittmer, he was from Camarillo. He was a local punk guy, went to Santa Clara High. He was a year older than me. And he would take pictures. And I used them for my fanzine. I was like, dude, like I could do that. And I used to race BMX, and my parents used to take pictures of me. And my father bought a decent camera. So I was like, hey, can I borrow that? Like, yeah, sure. And then I just started taking pictures.
Yeah.
And you know, obviously back then, you know, I don't want to be like, oh, back in the day, but you know, it wasn't cheap.
Hey, let's go ahead and just don't even worry about that. Back in the day, that shit was expensive. You know, you take 100 pictures and you get 6 good ones,
right?
And it costs you $90 or $100.
Totally,
when you don't have $90 or $100,
exactly,
you know, to get 6 pictures.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. And you had to buy the film from Thrifty.
Yeah,
Save On.
Yeah,
and
you bought it.
Yes.
You know, you're a way better human than I was.
King of getting receipts from stores and returning items for cash, dude. That was fun.
It is what it is.
Hey,
right?
man, when you grow up poor and hungry,
dude,
you
figure it out. You know, I love I'm saying I love doing photography, man. I actually need to get back into it. You know, we have our phones, but it's still not the same as taking and having that hand and going out and capturing those moments. It's just anybody can take a sunset picture, but when you get out there and, you catch, the day after it rains and you catch a picture off of the corner of a car or a boat, or you just, just something, and it's there.
Wow, you're a real artist. Yeah. You're a real artist.
Hey, man, look, man, don't start judging me, buddy.
The way you were framing that up gave me a boner.
My next picture.
Yeah, photography is cool because it just, and it just documents things.
Yeah.
You even notice there's the famous, photographers, obviously from back in the day, but even all the old fanzine and albums, cool. It's just some dude just taking a photo.
Yeah.
And it's just preserving history.
Yeah. And pictures used to be so
that picture is iconic.
Yeah.
And somebody was just standing there and got the picture.
Yeah.
You know, and that picture especially for all of us, we all seen that picture forever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such an iconic shot.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's the value in photos now is such dog shit. You know what I mean? Like, because you take them all day on your phone. When do you look at them?
You just delete them. And
it's fucking weird, But when it always was like, even at shows, like even now, you see guys holding up their phones taking pictures. You don't fucking think anything of them. You know what I mean? You're like, get the fuck out of the way. They're getting hit. They're getting stomped. You see a guy with a fucking actual camera, and people are like, okay, leave that guy alone, maybe a little bit.
Yeah. And
he's trying to do something here,
that are holding their phones up. Mm-hmm. All of them that are holding their phones up. I would like everybody to just start windmilling and lift their hands up high enough to just start knocking everybody's phones out of the way.
Like you're saying, floor punching, right?
Yeah.
Get them out of the way.
Yeah, there you go.
There should be a special section for that.
You go, you spend $1,000 to go up north somewhere like Avila Beach to go watch, St. John of the Broken Bones, and everybody in front of you standing there with a camera, and I'm like, I'm not here for this.
Yeah,
right.
I want to watch the band.
I know.
I always like to go stand next to the speaker.
Right.
That is I don't.
Man, you must have bad ears.
I know.
It's not. I know what I'm doing to myself, but it's still. I love to get right there to where you can see the band, and get right next to the speaker, so you get blasted out, and it's
good times.
Yeah,
good time.
But you have some fucking dickhead in front of you, or six of them, holding up a 6.5-inch phone, videotaping for an hour.
iPad, whatever.
Oh, dude, you've seen them do the iPads too, man. I just want to take a little wrist rocket.
That shit drives me nuts.
Yeah.
I wish more people would, like you said, I see people with like professional cameras, but a lot of times I wonder, like, where the hell are these photographs ending up?
Right.
Like, I wish more people would. I know fanzines are not cheap to print, but there's always a way.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can print them at fucking home now for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
We used to have to just figure out how to steal copies from Kinko's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you were back in the day where you'd slam the key card.
Slam the key card.
Slam the key. That's what you'd have to do. You'd remember the key cards? You remember the Kinko's?
Yeah.
So the big blue key cards.
The punk rock fucking move was to go in and make 1,000 copies. And then when no one's looking, you fucking bang it on the side of the counter until the counter flips to a number that's way less than what you did. And then you walk out with a fucking stack of papers this big, and you're like, 300 copies. They're all, really? I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of them are duds. You know what I mean? It's like, fuck.
A lot of throwbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were talking I loved music from day one. And like we said, if there's always a way.
Mm-hmm.
You hear people talking. I'm not talking about kids and adults. Like, I want to do a fanzine. I want to do a band. I don't have money. It's like, dude, there's a way.
Yeah.
They're like, stop eating Taco Bell and save your money. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's always a way.
There is.
Go mow a lawn.
Right.
Do whatever.
Yeah.
And it's
you can't go mow a lawn because the kid might get hurt mowing the lawn.
Might sue you. Huh?
The mom's not going to let him mow the lawn.
Yeah.
What if he hurts his shoulder pushing the lawnmower?
Might get sunburned.
Yeah. No, but you're right, because the same people that ask me the fucking same questions every time, dude. How do you I want to start a band. Fucking, what do you do? And I'm like, you're not built for this. If you're asking the fucking question, You're not built for it. If like same thing, you ask a comedian, like, how do I become a comedian? It's like, you're not built for this. Stop.
Yep. Don't do it.
You know what I mean? If you can't figure out, the how basics. To fucking start, man, you're asking the wrong fucking questions. You know what I mean? You have to have that mentality to really want to do something.
So do you tell them that, or do you just go, hey, look, man,
I tell them
start working hard.
I tell them don't stop. It depends on the mood I'm in. I'm a real asshole sometimes. I'm like, dude, from the line of questions that you're asking me,
can we please address this sometimes? let's address this real quick. Yeah.
Sometimes I'm an asshole.
Or even better, like when people ask you advice and then like they don't take it.
Oh yeah, they do the exact.
I get asked all the time, how do I put out a record? Yeah. You know how do I do it? It's like, dude. I mean, I can tell you, but it's like. Dude. You know what I mean? You just got to figure it out.
Yeah, here's what you do. You go, do you have $1,000 saved up? Cool. Throw it in the fucking trash.
Exactly.
And then start
and it's gonna take 3 years.
Yeah.
It's funny, my record label, like I've done this from day one, but I just piece everything together. I mean, nowadays you can just order a package deal, which is fine. Right. But I tell people, man, it's just buy the vinyl, get the vinyl made, get the inserts made, and just stuff it all together.
Right.
Especially if you're new and you're learning, you'll learn a lot.
Yeah, you have to learn. There's the growing pain. What was the first LP or piece of vinyl you put out?
This band Half Off from Long Beach.
Okay. What year was that?
It around 91.
Around
91. Yeah, my friend was the guitarist. He took his own life. Real bummer, cool guy. And I was like, you know what? I want to put out some in memory of him.
Yeah.
So it was like half live and the other half was studio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was cool. And we're just talking about life skills. Like it was in El Segundo, and I would go down there and just talk to the dude who owned it. And that just goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It just
where they rented it in El Segundo?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It closed down about 5 years ago. The guy who owned it died. Then his son took it over. His son was a cool guy. He really knew, very technical, knew everything about records, but wasn't a business guy.
Right.
Which I get. I'm not a business guy either.
Yeah.
So it ended up shutting down. But dude, no joke. I used to drive down there and take my stampers. And he'd get there early, 5 or 6 in the morning. I'd take the stampers there, go drive around, get lunch, come back the afternoon. The records would be done.
Really?
The same day.
Wow. That's
same day.
Big change from now.
Yeah. Wow. Now you're talking
a year
at minimum.
Yeah.
I mean, most vinyl manufacturers aren't even taking orders.
Right.
Yeah. They, so. Yeah, man, times just change, but I love putting out records. Lose all kinds of money, and don't care,
Well, and when you do make some, you're like fucking cool, you know what I mean? There's those guys like like Steve Aoki,
right,
Denmark, fucking those guys. What they did in LA, getting what was the fucking band that broke them? What was the big one that broke them? The big band that broke them. I can't remember. They were massive, right? But they would do these shows. I was looking through some of the Discog shit for It's Alive, and I know. Did you take photos for the pickle patch?
Yeah.
Right?
So I knew Steve really well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. He was a cool guy.
Yeah, he was great.
I'd help him out with his shows, and I remember when he started his record label, and this guy Mike Fight lived there, and help him out. It was cool, but yeah, man, he made it big time.
Right. So he owned that record. Dimmock moved to LA, fucking blew up. Now he's the biggest DJ in the world.
Huge.
That's what it is. You know what I mean?
But makes like $10,000 an hour.
I'm sure. Yeah. A minute, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, more money than we could ever fucking make. But when you
walks around in a bath.
The thing is that drive and that mentality comes from a certain spot. And if you fucking don't, you can learn it, but you have to fucking kind of have it. You know what I mean? You have to have that drive, that DIY shit. Like, I can do this my fucking self. I don't need anyone else to figure it out for me, and especially when it comes to putting out records and vinyl and doing it as long as you have, you know what I mean? It's for anyone to hit and make millions. It's very rare.
Very rare.
You know what I mean?
And people always ask me, because, I always like to put like posters, stickers, and all my releases, and people like, oh, it costs a lot of money. Like, how do you do this? And I'll tell you straight out, like, I lose money.
Right.
Straight up.
Right.
I lose money. 100%. and people go, oh, why do you do that? And I go, Well, I mean, it's pretty simple. Like most people, almost everyone has a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. People like, oh, my neighbor, he spends thousands of dollars every month on his motorcycle.
Right.
And he doesn't make that money back.
Right.
He just rides his motorcycle, which is fine. Yeah. Or people, people be always asking, oh, do you go snowboarding? Oh yeah. Like, okay, it costs a lot of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you make your money back? No. It's the same thing with my punk rock stuff.
Right.
Like I lose money, but at least me justifying it, other people are getting enjoyment.
Right.
Like I always give out posters at shows, all these posters I make. Dude, those they cost thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
But I give them all away for free.
Mm-hmm.
And I just figure, you know what? I'm not, I'm straight edge. I've been straight edge my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't spend it on partying. I don't, I'm not into hot rods. I'm not into motorcycles, expensive hobbies.
Right.
And so like, okay, so you printed these thousands of posters and whatever, it cost you $1,700.
Right.
Okay. Give them all free. It's fine. But it's like, dude, a car part is $1,700.
Right.
Right.
Totally.
So, and so I don't know if it's justifying, but it's just,
it's the best analogy you could do. Cause I spend a shit ton of money on my Harley and on my car.
Right.
And it's constant. It is like I had a
$500
part land on the porch today that I got to put on my truck, and
no one
but I
blinks
get
twice
the
about
serenity that I get driving that Cadillac.
Exactly.
The happiness that brings me to,
exactly. I think people think because they make merch, like, I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? If you're a broke band, especially if you're a touring band.
Oh yeah.
But when I sell my merch at like local shows, like, dude, literally like people only have $5. Only like, just take it.
Yeah.
Just take it.
Yeah.
Just take it. And the person next to me, dude, they're like penny pitching, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fair, but like they got to make their money back. It's like, dude, I just want people to have cool stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's why I make it. And just, I mean, even go to Salzer's, dude. All my vinyl there is like half the price, of everything.
Totally,
because I just want people to buy it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's cool, man. I mean, it's awesome. And your comment earlier, it shows that you love it.
Right. Yeah.
Shit all day. Touring bands eat shit all day. They fucking work their jobs all day long. They raise kids. They go to play a show till 3 a.m. because they love it. You know what I mean?
That's it.
So but that also segues into it's nice to have a good full-time job
that is true.
Money that
is nice.
You can go buy the stupid car parts.
Right. Exactly.
Well, that's what we were talking earlier. Like everyone makes a choice.
Right.
Everyone, and it's cool. I mean, I don't judge anyone for anyone.
Right.
But like, you're in a band and, like, I don't know. It just, bands always want money or a GoFundMe, and I get it, but it's like, dude, I can't pay your bills.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You're the one that chose this fucking profession.
Yeah, right. Like my friend who works at the Ford dealership, like if he loses his job, like people aren't going to GoFundMe.
Fuck no.
It's, I get it. It's a hard, but you talk to all those people, you talk to all those bands, and it's like anything in life. A lot of them say, man, I really wish I got a real job. Right. And then there's other people like us, like, man, I wish I was in a touring band.
Right.
So I don't think anyone has the perfect.
Fuck no. No one has,
unless you win the lotto.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck you. You got Steve Aoki, fuck you money.
Right.
You can do whatever you want.
But other than that, it's just, people make choices.
Yeah.
And if I hit the lotto and got Steve Aoki money or whatever, I would still have to, there's something you wouldn't stop if all of a sudden you wouldn't stop doing what you're doing. You wouldn't stop doing what you're doing.
Absolutely
you can't sit around.
No.
I
will die.
Literally.
I'm a shark. If
you still play GGs and
totally.
Yeah.
I'm out here doing it out of love. It's not like we're fucking breaking the bank with this shit.
But it's the enjoyment that comes from it is so incredible, man.
I don't know. Some on YouTube, some big interview with some guy. I can't remember, but he owned a very huge skate company. And he said, dude, the biggest mistake I made in my life is when my company started making money and I started buying stupid stuff, hanging out with stupid people. Right. And he's like, dude, it literally ruined his life.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, like, you know, lost marriage, friends, everything, because he wanted to buy a Lamborghini and just stupid. And he's like, dude, when all the smoke cleared and I got back to business, it's all about skateboarding. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's like, that's all that matters. Yeah. And he's like, it's the biggest mistake in my life. Yeah. You know,
it's how you lose track, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Not staying grounded anymore.
Just I know. I think Pennywise. I mean, you know, they're a big touring band. Yeah. And I heard an interview with them, and they still practice in the same, like, a tiny room.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Wow. Just in a little practice place. Yeah. And it's true. It's like, what do you need?
Right.
And it's how many true. Bands have we watched throughout the years that were incredible? You know, I mean, Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction was insane when it came out.
Right.
And they went straight on a rocket ship ride to the fucking ground because they got the money. They got all this other shit that came at them that just ruined it.
Right.
You know, and Appetite Destruction is still a killer album.
It's
amazing. You know?
Yeah, it's an amazing album.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
But after that, once they got that money, man.
Well, you know, you can't, for the few of us that are lucky enough to actually make a living off of this shit, right? And I'm saying, like, a real living, like Mastodon level,
right?
Even them, I'm sure they're not fucking killing it everywhere, right? But Metallica, right?
Right.
It's so
that's
rare.
Big money.
You're not. There's nothing that can prepare you for that. You know what I mean? There's like nothing that could. But every time consistently, you see that the more money you make, the more the art suffers. You know what I mean? And it's fucking
or the more money you're going to spend.
Well, that too, you know,
like,
the struggle is gone. You know, how are you going to write a death metal album or a Metallica album,
when you have about metal up your ass
when you literally own fucking parts of Wyoming?
We're doing a documentary on our therapy.
Right.
You know, we're the biggest band in the world. So let's document our therapist and our therapy and our implosions and our insecurities.
Yeah, you get some kind of monster. That's what you get. You know,
I mean, it's just like the boxers and MMA fighters, like Rocky. Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you just think, like, if you're a world-class boxer, world-class MMA guy, whatever,
like Conor McGregor,
is the perfect example.
Yeah, for example, but it's like, well, wherever you trained got you there. It's like, why do you need a bigger gym? Mm-hmm. Right? Just stick, just like a band. If you have a garage to practice in, what else do you need?
Yeah, exactly.
It's when you get to that point, what got you there is the hard work and the dedication. Conor McGregor is a good example of that, because he came up in the projects. He, you know, just came up in an area where you had to fight. You fight all the time. So he just dedicated his life to it.
Right.
Now we're back to the Lambo and the proper 12, and like he's you know, walking around in Gucci fucking jumpsuits.
Yeah.
You know, and
meanwhile lost the last 4
fights.
Yeah. Or you get a hard worker like Money Mayweather, who you know, at 2:00 in the morning he's out putting the miles on his shoes,
and he's straight edge.
That's true.
He is.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true. Yeah, he doesn't drink or do nothing. Just beats,
you know what's funny?
He just beats the shit out of women.
That's
his only fights.
Fuck that guy.
100% fuck that guy.
Yeah.
But he does have some fucking,
killer work.
Killer work ethic. Yeah, but he is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, it's fine. I never. I mean, I did wear X's on my hands back in the day, but I never really preached it. But as you get older, you know, like, dude, partying will just whether it's your job, your band, it will just fucking crumble.
Totally.
It will crumble everything. I mean, you listen to every band who has major issues, and I almost guarantee they fucking party.
It's for sure, man.
Yeah.
And so you never ever did.
No.
Never, not one time.
Never.
That's amazing.
Never partying in my life.
You were just talking about what's
straight edge.
What is that? I don't.
Jay has no frame of reference, which is perfect. Actually,
it's all right.
No idea.
So this band Minor Threat from DC, wrote a song called Straight Edge.
Yeah,
and they sang about being straight edge. And then before that song was even out, his old band Teen Idols, and then would play clubs. And if you're under 21, the club would put an X on your hand.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So the kids said, well, I don't want to fucking drink anyways. So I'm going to put the X on my hand, even when we're not at a bar.
Right.
And that's,
shit.
So Minor Threat
really cool.
Invented the terminology.
Straight edge. Okay. And I know who Minor Threat is.
And it's gone.
I don't think I've ever listened to him.
Generations at this point.
Yeah.
It's very rare. I think you're literally the third person I've ever met that really has held it. You know what I mean? My buddy Casey Weisenbaker, he's still fucking straight edge, has never fucked around. You and I got maybe one other guy I could think of if I had to.
Never drank, never smoked a cigarette.
But this is why he looks 32 and we look like we're 180.
Nah. It's funny, man.
Good point.
I just never wanted to. And then, I went through phases. I never, at first, I got into Minor Threat. I was really young. So, you know what? I'm going to be edge.
Right.
And, party people sort of scared me. They're fucking crazy. I was like, I don't want to fucking do that. And then it becomes almost like an ego, like, you know what? I want to be different.
Right.
And it just went from there. And then obviously when you get older, it's sort of who you are.
Right.
If you've never done it,
why would you do it now?
Yeah. Why? But some
or you go the other way with it. And that's who you are the other way.
Yeah. A lot of straight edge people go off the rails, man.
Oh yeah.
Off the the extreme. Yeah. And it's like religion, Yeah. So
it is another religion, right? And I grew up as a Christian kid, I was a Christian punker back in the day, and all of my friends are straight edge. They claim straight edge, but they're also Christian, so they were, it's like we're killing two birds with one stone, here, guys. You know what I mean? And then as soon as I got some pussy, I was like, okay, the religion's not making sense very much anymore, right?
I'm out of here.
I'm out, dude. You know what I mean? I got my dick wet. I was like, later, Jesus.
Bye, Jesus.
But the straight edge thing,
later,
I'll catch you on the other side.
I'll see you. But I didn't drink or do anything till I was 21.
21?
Yeah, 21. My 21st birthday is like the time.
It's funny you say that. That's actually cool because all my friends I grew up with who were partiers, literally, dude, I mean, by the time they were like 19, 20 and turned 21, it's just like there was nothing to look forward to.
Right.
Yeah, literally. Exactly, they're like, dude, I turned 21. And I've been drunk since I was 15.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it's just like, so good for you.
Is this an intervention that I didn't know was happening?
Jay,
what's going on here?
I brought Fred in here.
There you go.
No, but there was something to be said for it because the whole drug addict thing is a thing, right? You experience this every day, I'm sure, in your work. But I don't have the thing. I think partly because the way I grew up, around a bunch of fucking psycho bikers that were on drugs and
I heard your dad was a wild man.
My dad's a wild motherfucker.
Man,
yeah. So, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to do that, right? You either go one way or the other. But I think waiting so long to party, it allowed me to really not
make an adult choice
and not make it my fucking life. You know what I mean? Right. So even now, I haven't been drinking for a couple of weeks. I took 6 months off not too long ago. That kind of shit, it doesn't bother me. Right. Some people, and the majority, and you're right, I used to hang out with a bunch of straight edge kids up in Thousand Oaks in the early 2000s.
Right.
Every one of those guys, and there's a couple that held to it. Every one of them literally became heroin addicts. Right. You know what I mean? Within 2 years after breaking the edge,
just
you know
extreme,
what I mean?
just moderation.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's no moderation. You know
yeah.
What I mean?
There's no moderation.
Trip, But,
even going to shows, even nowadays, even the Oxnard Performing Arts Center, I'll see a lot of kids, underage kids out there drinking, and adults, whatever. It is what it is. You know what I mean? People are going to do what they're going to do. I'm not going to judge, but it's like, dude, don't you want to see the music?
Right.
I don't get it. I want to tell these people, dude, you can drink tomorrow.
You've missed every band so far.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's why, like I said, I've never partied, so maybe I don't get the full circle. But it's like, dude, you can drink tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why are you drinking now when you could be seeing the band?
Yeah, but every one of those people will not be in the scene in fucking 5 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
The guys that will sit there and drink in a parking lot the whole fucking time and miss every band. You're done. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're just there because it's a place to go fucking party. The guys that are watching the show, that are doing, those are the guys that are, going to be into it. And it's a good way to see who's going to be here in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we all go through these phases. There's been definitely times I went to a show and just fucking didn't want to watch any bands, but I wanted to hang, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, when you make that your whole fucking life, it's not, there's no
doesn't sound like fun.
It doesn't sound like fun.
Yeah, doesn't sound at all. And dude, you could save that money and buy a t-shirt.
Right.
All right, you know,
the band that you're not watching.
Yeah. So
true,
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a trick. Well, that's cool, man. I mean, so how many records have you put out over the years? I mean, do you have a count? I know it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, 25 maybe.
Yeah.
25, and it's fun, man. It's a labor of love, like I said, dude. It especially now. It used to be affordable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like a band, like, hey, we're gonna make 100 t-shirts. It used to be like, I can make 500 records, but dude, the cost the cost is through the roof. But it's fun, man. And I always think this too. It's like a record. Whoever buys it, it'll probably last forever.
Right.
You know, like, you know, it'll be in someone's house or someone's record collection forever.
Yeah.
And I figure t-shirts, because people always hit me up like, make t-shirts, make t-shirts. And I mean, I have made t-shirts, but it's like, man, I'm just not into it.
Yeah.
You know, I think they get thrown away or just.
Well, I can't tell you how many t-shirts I fucking lost. You
know
what I mean, minutes after buying them, you know?
Right.
They're gone forever. I never lost an LP unless I wanted
exactly.
to. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, yeah. And, you know, actually t-shirts now are not cheap. I went by Merch Now today in Oxnard. And, you know, they do no effects, like all. And they're just like, dude, the cost is just rising.
Yeah. Cost of everything.
I had 30 shirts printed for that last show we did with Night Demon. It was fucking almost $500.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know I mean? But crazy. We do really high quality shirts,
right?
And nice discharge printing, right?
Right.
So we do pay the extra for that shit, but almost $500 for fucking 30 t-shirts.
A lot of money.
Yeah. And so now, like, and this is where that like punk rock guilt shit comes in. Like, we sell shirts for $20 most of the time, but I was like, I had to tell the guys, I was like, we're selling them for 25 now, dude.
Right.
And everyone's like, well, fuck, I don't know. And I'm like, $5. Either buy it or don't buy it. We're making barely any money off these fucking shirts. We're selling them for 25. Sold more than we've ever sold. You know what I mean? Like, right. No one gives a fuck about $5 anymore.
But, and you know what's funny? It's like, it's like first grade logic. Like, not so much anymore, but like people really like, you know, this show's too expensive. Oh, this record's too expensive. It's like, dude, first grade logic. Don't buy it.
Don't buy it.
It's people get caught up on things like, dude, that LP is too much money. Don't buy it.
Yeah.
Don't buy it. And then even worse, the people who complain, the first thing you can say is like, make your own t-shirt.
Right. Yeah.
I've definitely not a lot, but I've definitely had people tell me like, oh, when you publish that book, like you should have done a larger size, or you should have done this record. It's very simple. Do it yourself.
Yeah.
It's first grade logic. You don't like it?
Yeah.
Like even, you know, you're in a band, you've put on shows, you've played many shows, people like, well, dude, you know, they should have had more bands on that bill, less bands, right? Totally, it should have limited early. It's very, do your own show.
Do your own show.
Do your own show. It's first grade logic. If you don't like it,
and you know, take that loss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, take the loss. You know, I do production stuff with different people around town and do big venue stuff with these people. And everybody's looking at them like, hey, man, just let me in for free.
Right.
Like, dude, I'm going to lose $10,000 on this show.
Right.
Like, I'm not doing this.
I let in 100 fucking rich people today.
Yeah.
You know
right.
I mean?
Yeah.
You're out of your fucking
mind, or
dude.
they just say, hey, yeah, okay, go talk to Jay. Jay, you know, he'll get you in. And then they come in like, what the fuck? No, you're paying, motherfucker. You get the fuck out of here.
I paid last night $25 for Tear. Right. And dude, worth every penny.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you can't go to Target without spending
fucking
50, 100. It's true. So
you can't go to Walmart without spending $40.
Right. So $25. It's like, dude, touring bands.
Yeah.
And you know, like, dude, that money doesn't go far when you're split between 5 people. Yeah. And the roadie,
Plus the fact that it costs them almost $2,000 to do a fucking show there alone. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I think it's $1,500 to do a show there.
Yeah,
in that
exactly.
Room. You know what I mean? That's a fucking grip.
And money. You want more shows? Then show up and pay.
Pay the money.
When he played at Gigi's not too long ago, and I went and saw him, you know, I went to go see him. You know what I mean? So I get to the door. How much? Here, I get inside, and then he's like, "Hey, man, if I thought you'd actually show up, I would have put you on the list."
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Oh, come on, man, it's like $8,
$10."
Yeah, and these guys, you know, everybody here has got to get paid, and you know, you got to have security, or you got to do all this different shit. Like,
yeah, people have no idea.
$10,
they have no idea.
People have people have no idea. I actually heard that recently. Someone was saying like, dude, since bands are back in swing, touring, playing, like they should just get rid of guest lists. And I'm all for it. Dude, I'm 100% for it.
Yeah,
you know, dude, I know it's hard because you know, well, dude, we gotta let our buddy in. He fixed my amp. I get it.
Yeah,
but it's just like, man, just pay. You know, and I'm not gonna lie, I was guilty back in the day.
We're all guilty of it. Yeah,
we're all guilty.
You know how many fucking shows I've stood behind the stage at the Ventura Theater?
Yeah.
I'm not paying shit, you know?
Right.
Yeah. We're all guilty of this.
Right. We're all guilty. But yeah, man, if you're out there, just support and pay and buy. Like I said, I mean, money's all relative. I know, you know, a lot of people are broke. I get it. But dude, just, you know, don't buy that beer, buy that McDonald's, and just, you know, just buy a t-shirt.
Yeah.
You know, that's something that I figured out, you know, listening to podcasts and talking to people, friends and stuff that do this stuff. And I try every chance I get to make the effort to buy the shirt, because that's actually, I mean, until the record companies can take that too. Yeah. That's how you get the money to them. That's you know, and I go to see these people like this guy, I Self Divine. You know, this guy is just a hip hop kid that's just trying to do this. So, you know, yeah, I bought the ticket, but that ticket's going to go to the venue, to the producer, promoter, to the to everyone else, where that t-shirt goes to him. You know, let's
buy the merch.
Pay the $25 or $30 for a shirt.
Support what you like, man.
Yeah. As I've gotten older, like, you know, I've figured that out. And when I was younger, there's no. You know,
we were all fucking
not spending $40 on a shirt. Yeah, we were all broke.
We were broke. And, you know,
the best thing I'd give advice, honestly, like if someone's in a new band or just, you know, obviously just pull in your money, do whatever. And dude, don't worry about the money. Just sell your merch.
Right.
And it's funny because I keep zero track of my finances of my record structure. I mean, literally zero. So when
it'd probably make you quit, if you
right?
Did, right.
So when I do get the money, it's like, oh, this is nice.
Yeah. Hey,
you know, but dude, if you're gonna count every penny,
oh god, yeah.
It you know,
it makes you fucking rethink some things, man.
Yeah, man.
Sure, you know,
like, or just what, just play in your garage.
Yeah, do your thing, man.
Just hang out with your friends and do it. And don't get carried away.
Do you have any releases that you're working on, or what was the last one you did? Or is there any new bands, anything like that you're thinking about?
Nah, lately, really. I mean, last like 10 years, a lot of reissues, just putting out stuff, you know. I did the RKL 7-inch.
Right.
Talk to those guys and they let me do that. And, you know, reissues are easy because there's no timeline, you know, like, oh, we're going on tour. I need the record. Yeah. It's like reissue, just sort of take your time and man, just doing fun stuff. And it's fun, man. Yeah. Just enjoy it. But no, nothing big coming up, just when things come around. You know, I reissued the Annihilation Time LP. Right. That was fun. It was a lot of work.
Yeah.
You know, I stuffed everyone by hand and did everything, then got them shrink wrapped and distributed. That was fun, but it was a lot of work and man, it's fun.
I did want to ask you about the Annihilation Time shit because we all know the Annihilation Time,
right.
But not many. I mean, people know you were the OG singer,
right.
So when that started, when you guys came out, I was like, oh fuck, you know,
you're in a video on YouTube up front.
Am I
at awesome. What's that place by Salzer's? We played there.
Like Pat's Warehouse.
Pat's Warehouse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn, I gotta find that.
Yeah. I'll send you the link.
It was fucking killer, you know, and it was such a game changer, dude. Like, do you have fond memories of it? I mean, what was the beginning of that shit like?
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell you a story. Yeah, a lot of, you know, fond memories. So I went on tour with in 2000 or 2001 with In Control and Fields of Fire.
Right.
So we're cruising around the country and stuff, and those guys, you know, they would jam on the side, and you know, I want to do this and that, and we're just like, let's start a band. Me, Chris Grande, and Graham Kleiss.
Right.
Like, let's start a band, and then Jamie, like, yeah, let's do it, and then Tony, like, yeah, let's just do it. Let's do it. And then there was a Blast interview, that band Blast. They said, we're just going to annihilate everything.
Right.
And then I think Graham made up the name.
Right. It sounds very much like a Graham thing to say.
Yeah. So I think he made up the name. And I honestly, we're in the Midwest someplace, and, you know, like, we're going to do this. And, you know, I just my whole life, I follow through.
Right.
Like, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sort of how I am, learned from my dad. So we got back, and they had a practice place right in Santa Barbara, right by the Underground, that club.
Yeah.
It had 100 names. Do you remember the last name it was?
No, I don't remember the last.
Okay, but dude, walking distance.
Yeah.
Literally like 1 minute.
Yeah.
So we just started jamming there, and then we got a few songs together, and I'll tell you, dude, I'm not a musical guy.
Sure.
I'm not just, I don't have it in me, but, you know, I could scream, I could write some lyrics, and, you know, they'd help me write some lyrics, and we just went for it. And then our first show was in Isla Vista, and, yeah, man, we just went for it. And, you know, I've been around a long time, so I had the connections. I was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So, dude, I just started getting us shows. I mean, everyone helped.
Totally.
You know, but I had the connections and got us shows and got us some bigger shows, and we just started playing, and it was fun, man.
Yeah.
But you know, everyone knows I got kicked out of the band. Well, first we went on the US tour, and it was fun.
I was trying to dance around.
No, it's fun. It's
yeah.
Dude, it's like anything in life. Like, if anyone's ever dated, anyone's ever been in a band, anyone's had jobs, you get fired.
Yeah.
You get dumped. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, we've all been dumped. Yeah.
Everywhere. There's no, you know, people have that, like you said, sort of people skirt around the issue like, well, I didn't want to say anything. It's like, dude, if you've been in bands, you've been kicked out of bands.
Right.
You know, if you've had a job,
yeah,
you've been fired.
Yeah. Totally.
It's just, it's ridiculous. It is what it is, you know? So we toured, it was cool. And dude, I'm not very musical.
Right.
And those guys are legit.
No,
they can play.
Talent. Graham's talent is unfucking real, dude.
Yeah, unreal.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy. And even Grande, Tony, they're all fucking crazy.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Tony's legit.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy he used to listen to NoFX albums and just play them. Literally.
Like what with a listen.
Yeah, just one time.
Yeah.
So everyone in that band could play, and right away, dude, I started getting left behind musical wise. It is what it is.
Hey,
so Nick Jett of Tear, he had he had a studio in his garage, and we went and recorded, and it was pretty obvious, dude. I was getting left behind.
Yeah.
Like musically.
Sure.
And it you know what, dude? It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like everyone has their niche.
Yeah.
And I have no shame.
Yeah. Well,
you know,
good,
like no shame.
Awesome.
You know, I'm not a musical guy. And like I said, I have talent in other things.
Yep.
And just, you know, and it is what it is. And I sort of got left behind. And as you know, anyone knows being in a band is not easy.
Not at all.
Anyone who's not been in a band has no idea. It's like being married to 5 people.
I say this all the time. It's like having 4 girlfriends you can't fuck.
It's
like imagine putting yourself in a house with 4 chicks that call themselves your girlfriend and you can't fuck any of them.
No touching allowed.
Not at all. Like, yeah, it's a fucking nightmare sometimes, dude. You know?
Yeah. So, you know, we went on tour, put out an album, and it was awesome, man. And the thing is, it's just like anything in life, dude. Like, I sort of, you know, I was thinking the band was going to go one way. They sort of want to go the other way.
Right.
And it just it is what it is, dude. And I got booted out, and they just went their own way. And you know what, dude? It was fine.
Yeah.
Because I was graduating college.
Right.
And dude, I needed to finish that. Right. Like college, dude, I was straight C-. I mean, literally, dude. I'm not kidding, dude. No, this is not joke. Straight C- at the university, like begging these teachers like to give me a C-. So I'm like,
I will trade you an LP.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right.
You want a sticker?
So, it was important to me. It was important to my parents. And it's like, dude, I just need to graduate.
Right.
Yeah.
So I got kicked out. I graduated, and that was it, man. Yeah. They just went and did their own thing.
They fucking went. They went. Dude.
Yeah, they ran with it.
It's really hard for me to imagine you just not even musically or nothing, but hanging with that fucking those animals.
Yeah.
Like, and the stories I've heard from Noel and Graham and Blondie. I mean, motherfucker, if you were in the middle of that shit.
It's not really my scene. It's not, I like to go to bed at 9 p.m. Oh yeah,
these guys are having heart attacks on boats.
Scott Porsche hanging out. Totally, dude. So and you know what, dude? I've seen all that. Yeah. I've been around that my whole life. Yeah. But yeah, did I want to continue that? Like, absolutely not. Dude.
You dodged a bullet, I think. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably a few of them, and some maybe
all kinds of shit.
All kinds of stuff.
Bunch of straws.
Yeah, but dude, people still ask me about that band, and like I said, the album it keeps getting reissued. Yeah. People buy it. People love it.
Yeah.
And but recording was not easy for me.
Right.
And just, like I said, those guys were pretty advanced, and there's no way I could have kept up with that band.
Yeah.
But it's funny. You learn life lessons too, because, everyone sort of has, what's going on with their life. But like me personally, like I see this in bands, been around music my whole life. It's always like, hey man, like, why'd you get a new bass player? Like, why'd you kick out your friend?
Right.
Well, dude, this guy's a better bass player. And I thought like, that's sort of fucked up. Because me personally, like, I don't think like that.
Right.
Like if my buddy's a bass player, and even though he's not that good, guess what? He's going to stay in the band.
Right.
He's going to stay. But I know musicians, they're a different brand, and I'm not a musician.
Yeah.
And they think a different breed.
Well, there is a point at which, and I've been the guy that had to kick out guys, and I'm not a great musician.
Right. No, you are.
I mean,
no, you're a good musician.
On paper, I'm not. I can't tell you what I'm doing, but I can do it. Right. I've had to be the guy that kicked out guys that were literally holding a band back. And it fucking
How did that
breaks.
Feel?
It hurts. It sucks. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm walking in there with a big smile on my fucking face. It hurts, dude. And it's a bummer. And it's your friend. And you're like,
you got to bail.
We can't help you, dude. You know what I mean? And it fucking hurts, man. But it's part of being in a fucking band.
That's how it is.
If you want to go to that level, there are some times where that person isn't gonna fucking do it.
That's that's probably why my band's never. That's why we never. You know what I mean? Because
but you've proved your talents in so many other ways.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Hard work and dedication.
Exactly.
Got you a long way.
You're on that fucking Henry Rollins trick right now.
Keep
grinding.
Keep grinding, man. Man. And dude, I had a good time. We played a lot of shows. Mm-hmm. We toured the U.S. Right. And people to this day, dude, still ask me all the time about it.
Right.
And like I said, that's about it, man. Like I just, it's sometimes it's hard to get along with people and couldn't keep up musically. And it is.
It's hard, man. It's hard being in a band, dude.
Yeah. It's hard being in a band.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
But I had great times, man.
I'm sure.
I had great times.
Yeah.
So it was great, man.
Those guys are fucking sweethearts,
Yeah, man. Wild, just wild.
Wild, dude. I know Graham's in LA right now recording a Witch record.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he just came into town. His new band just played up in
Ojai, right?
Ojai. And then he's recording a fucking Witch record right now with Jay Mascis, Dinosaur Jr.
That's awesome, man.
Dude
I'm still all friends with those guys. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like,
they put you on the guest list.
Yeah. I mean, dude, Letcher's Gaze, I took pictures for their album.
Right,
so,
that's good, man. Yeah, you got to, it's nice. And the cool thing about that is unique about this area is that it is it's incestuous as much as it is fucking forgiving and loving and all inclusive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Man, and
loaded with talent. Loaded with talent, man.
Loaded with talent.
I mean, part of growing up being maturity, man, is just moving on.
Totally, dude.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and you moved on in a big way. I did want to ask, I mean, you are a fucking sheriff, right?
Yeah.
So that's a wild, we don't got to talk forever.
When you graduated from the university, what was your major?
Child development.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Go through and get child development.
Yeah. And become a cop.
Yeah.
What was the decision to do that? You have cops in your family? I mean,
no, man,
your dad wasn't, right?
No one in the family did. I obviously I knew cops from growing up, you know what I mean?
Right.
But dude, it just, there's no big answer, dude. I was just like, man, it's a good job.
Right.
And I want retirement and, you know, and treat people how you want to be treated.
Right.
And, and just,
so being straight edge probably
that helped. Yeah.
It helped a lot.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, man, 99 of people who go to jail, 99% is because of drugs and alcohol.
Right.
Maybe they weren't arrested for drugs and alcohol, but there's no sober people going to jail.
Right.
It is what it is. Like I said,
rare, right?
I don't want to preach the straight edge, but man, if you party, just keep it under,
Right. The one guy that is sober going to jail is the same guy that called the police and was like, I just killed my wife.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
That guy's terrifying.
Yeah.
That's but the one guy that might be sober.
Yeah. So it's a cool job. Like I said, I don't really want to talk about it much.
I got you, man.
Yeah, but it's a cool job, man. Just treat people how you want to be treated. And it's just life skills.
Right.
And it just, dude, people are people.
100%.
Dude, from Skid Row to Beverly Hills to punk rockers, you just talk to people like, and obviously
like they're human.
Right. And like the punk rock scene, homie, man, you come across everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, you go to shows, there's rich kids, poor kids, punker kids,
right.
And you just learn, dude, the best thing to be social and get along with people is be a punk rocker.
Right. Yeah. Well, it gives you a unique skill set in life.
It does.
I've said this a million times. It's if you grow up in this world, in the music world, you have a unique fucking skill set, which is talking your way in or out or understanding people, seeing people for who they are, accepting them for the fucking freaks they are. You know what I mean? Not judging. Right. So it is as much as everyone wants to say, oh my God, a punker is a cop. You know what I mean? Because of the whole thing. It literally could be the perfect avenue if you do it right. Right. You know what I mean? Do guys trip on you like in the force and your mentality? Or, I mean, I'm sure you work with.
Yeah, they do. They don't know much about it.
Yeah.
They don't, because so many people are into music nowadays.
Oh, okay.
Coworkers like, I have a lot of coworkers go to shows, but I don't really talk.
But they're going to see Stained.
Yeah. Or alternative press bands or bands I've never. It's funny you say that because I worked with a guy and he was sort of into the indie scene and he told me these bands and I'm like, dude, I don't really know. And I'd Google them. Dude, they'd have like 8 million followers.
Totally.
And I'm like, I've never even heard of this band.
The name.
I know. It just is what it is.
If you give him the list of fucking hardcore bands, he's all.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Who's that? Oh no, I sit here every week.
Yeah.
I have no idea who Annihilate is.
Annihilation Time.
Annihilation Time.
Yeah. See,
there you go.
Point proven.
There you go.
No clue. But I listen to hip hop and a lot of underground stuff.
Right.
But I will now when I get in the car on the way home, I'll be listening to it and checking it out.
Yeah.
The first album.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Yes.
Totally.
I'm in.
Yeah. Well, dude.
Well, you're in a union trade,
Yeah.
It's my dad was a union electrician. Like I tell people, man, like, do what you do, but dude, if you can get in a trade with the retirement and benefits, and like we said, dude, nothing's easy.
No,
it's hard
work.
Know
what I mean? It's funny because a lot of people have asked me about my job. Like, I'm interested in that. It's like, dude, it's not easy, but it's not impossible.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Like it's a lot of work, but you can do it.
Right.
I mean, dude, even the trades, I mean, was it 5 years of schooling, right?
Yeah, 3 for mine. Some
are
5.
The electrical trade is 5 years.
Right.
It's like, well, that's a lot. You go one day a week. It's like, well, dude.
It's a lot, dickhead. But when you're done, you're making $55 an hour,
right?
Plus
you're an apprenticeship program. You're getting paid to go do this stuff,
right?
You know what I mean? That's not like
in a trade. You are getting paid to go to school.
Right. It's not like you go to a university.
Yeah,
and spend all this time and all this stuff to get a child development degree.
That's right. Luckily, dude, I had no college debt. It was sort of cheap when but now it's out of control.
No,
but dude, if you can, people tell me like, oh, I want to be an electrician. It's like, dude, if you don't go in the union, it's rough, dude. Yeah. I had one of our fucking a dude I was talking to yesterday. He's a carpenter. He's like, dude, what, he knows I'm in a fucking union trade. I'm like, go down to the fucking hall and see what you can do. I said, you've been doing it for 15 fucking years. Right.
He's like, well, I don't even know where to start. I'm like, how did you start?
Right.
Otherwise, you know what I mean?
Walk in and ask questions.
Walk to the fucking hall and ask some fucking questions, dude. I said, work is so good right now. They're hiring people off the street for some shit.
Yeah.
Iron workers, you could walk into the ironworkers union right now.
Right.
Yeah, nobody. Well, speaking of felons,
and talk about a bunch of savages.
Woo, those guys are nuts, dude. Take those guys to a fucking.
That's a hard trade.
They're brutal.
Yeah,
they're psychos. Well, it's cool, man. I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
Cool to
Thanks
chat.
for having
me. Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
You want to throw out any of the fucking things to follow people on, or just look up It's Alive?
Yeah, man. Just look up It's Alive fanzine, and it'll come up.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's about it, man.
That's it, man.
Just like I just really want to stress, dude. Nothing in life can be hard or easy, but you just gotta do it.
You just gotta do it.
You know what I mean? And just moderation. If you want to be a guitar player, you can practice 30 minutes a day.
Right.
And you'll get better.
Right.
And like, I think a lot of people nowadays, young people, failing is like a big, I don't know. It's like, dude, everyone fails. I was kicked out of a band. I've been fired from jobs. Like, dude, you unless you try.
Right.
Unless you try.
You got to put in the time.
Failure is not built into this society.
Right.
Yeah. No,
right.
It's not.
It's immediate success or don't try
it.
I mean, you know what I mean?
Instagram stars,
totally.
YouTube. It's like whatever, man. Mm-hmm. But dude, work is work.
Right.
You gotta, all these great guitar players, all these people, they practiced.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
Yeah. You got to put the time in, dude.
You got to put the time
10,000 hours.
Yep.
10,000 fucking, don't talk to me unless you've hit 10,000 hours yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. I hit my 10,000 hours when I was like 16.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I still probably could use another 10.
Yeah. You can always get better.
Oh, you can always be better, man. But
thanks for having me.
Hey,
thank you.
Yeah, I really appreciate
your
time.
Yeah, it was a great conversation.
All right, brother.